Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to let people file in for another maybe 30 seconds, minute or so, and then we will go ahead and get started. I think we should be good to go. So let's dive right in. So we have quite a lot to go over in our agenda today. We have many proposal updates that we're going to be walking through, as well as diving into on-site estimating and invoicing. And as always, we do leave the last, portion of today for any questions that you guys might have. So please feel free to make sure that you enter those in throughout. And with us today, we have a new presenter. So I'm going to let Scott introduce himself quickly here.
Hello, I'm Scott Kavanaugh, and I am a software engineer for the Crew Control team. I'm one of the leads on the team, and I help kind of manage the show of building new features as well as kind of giving insight into what we should do next.
Wonderful.
If we're ready, I'm just going to hop right into it and kind of show some really exciting stuff that we've
Yeah,
built over the last month.
absolutely. Just
Oh yeah.
a few final thoughts before we get to the good stuff. Make sure that if you do have questions, please enter them in throughout the session. You can do so right through the Zoom question and answer panel, and we'll make sure to get to those. If there is any follow-up required, we will make sure that we follow up with you afterwards to get your answers. And we will be sharing the recording of this session. Usually within the next 24 hours, you can expect that to hit your inbox. So please keep an eye out for that. And we do this every third Wednesday of the month. So please continue to join us. Please continue to share your questions ahead of time if you have them. And we also welcome any topics to be suggested that you really want to learn about. So please feel free to share those ahead as well when you register. So that is my spiel. I'm going to go ahead and pass things off to Scott now so he can dive into the product.
Awesome, let's do this. All right.
Alrighty, you should have.
Share my
Yeah.
screen here. Are you able to see it, Holly?
Yes, I am.
All right, let's dive right in. Okay, so our latest enhancements since last month, we got a big chunk of proposal functionality out there, and it's just in time for anyone that's doing annual proposals to really help you out, especially if you have a lot of proposals that you're kind of building up over time and you're changing prices. So a big enhancement we've made to our sales dashboard is adding this proposal templates button, which will take you to all of your proposal templates that you can create, manage, and a new option to delete. Previously, you'd have to do this only when creating a new proposal, and that kind of adds some challenges, especially if you're managing multiple or wanting to change prices over time. You just didn't have a quick way of doing that. So now you can easily do this from just going to the settings areas. You can add a new template, edit an existing template, or delete a template that you no longer want anymore. On top of that, we've released optional line item pricing, which allows you to give both packages, but upsells for some of your, let's say it's a gold package, and you offer maybe in the landscaping industry several mows, but you want to give your customer the ability to choose additional services that you could provide for them. And this will give you that option to do that. So you could set it as a template. So you could have individual depending on how you set up your proposals and your bids. You could set them up as different bids, different templates for different bids, or you could even consider setting up your packages into separate optional items, and you can have all optional items. So I just want to kind of convey that you don't have to have a mandatory item. They could be all optional. So here's a case where one's optional and these would be upsells. And then here's another, so there are bronze, silver, gold pricing here. You have that ability as well for giving them the choice for any one of these. So really cool, really slick enhancement. It took us quite a bit of work to get this going. So it's a good one to release just in time for y'all. So back on the sales board, so that's the template configuration. And you also just want to highlight some nice things that you may not have seen before is that we have this large intro area that you put your intro. Same with the footer text, you can kind of go pretty wild with that. Just having the ability to do it, manage it in this area gives you a little bit more visibility on what our templates can offer. All right, I kind of got a funny highlight going here. 1 second, zoom flicker there. All right, so when you go to build, this is a previous opportunity that we have, a lead coming in. When you go to build that proposal, you could choose one of these templates, pre-built templates, enter the customer specific pricing. I'm going to choose save without sending because I want to see how it looks before it goes out there. View this proposal, and then your customer will have these optional items. And you can see like it's a little funny that the subtotals are 0 on your side when you're creating as an admin the proposal. But as your customer selects these, any discounts, any deposit percentages will be applied to that selected option. And so they'll get to choose, they'll be able to accept, and you'll be able to provide more services potentially to your customer than they originally thought they needed, which is a pretty nice enhancement. Oh, back on that side too, new ability to print from the customer side. So this just released as well. This is not related to any optional, but we do support optional. So this is pre-accepted proposal, but once your customer accepts it, they'll also, this is kind of an odd state where there's a deposit unpaid, but they can also accept it. You see, they'll get a accepted status up here on the printed version, and they can record a copy of this for their purposes. So that's a pretty nice enhancement, so they don't have to call in to your office to get a copy. So that pretty much covers everything on the admin side that we've built. On the crew and technician side, we've added the ability to use those optional items as well with the estimate. So we'll kind of cover that. We've also, with estimating and invoicing, we'll let you easily copy over your job details. So the images, and specifically in this case, so I've pre-uploaded image, but when your crew goes, let me get you back oriented. So we're the first job of the day here, Aaron Adams. Let's say I've started that. I've used upload to upload my image, and I just want to kind of give you that when it's taken from a phone, you get this nice timestamp. You can add a lot of the details of what's going to happen with whatever you're taking a screenshot of here. I hear I'm saying it's dock repairs here. And as you go to estimate it, you'll get an option to copy those job details over to the estimate, so you don't have to re-enter them in. If you're doing pre-work authorization for the job that you're gonna perform that day, or if you're gonna estimate for future work, this will also be helpful for you. So if you're taking photos of the job to be performed in the future. So really cool, slick usability enhancement that we've been able to offer. And then as well, you're able to select these templates that we've kind of covered on the admin side from as a technician. You'll see my bronze, silver, and gold package. The line items are optional. You'll be able to add new optional items and be able to configure it right here on site as well. So I'll add a new one. When it's presented to your customer, they'll have these options just like they do on the admin side to choose. Their pricing details will change based on their selection. You can see my image was captured and copied over to the presented proposal, and then when they sign and accept here, those optional items that I chose will be accepted. So another new enhancement we've made is all estimates and invoices are printable now from the crew side. So we'll take you out to a printable version of the page. It looks kind of funny. But that way when, let me see if I can, here, let's print it. It'll actually print pretty well. So take a look at that. If you're doing it, if you're doing mobile on-site printing, it was a capability some folks really wanted. So that at least gives you a way to do that. And then if you get in even on a smaller mobile device, we'll kind of give you those instructions because it looks a little funny at that range. So that's prints. I'm trying to think of anything else. So I'll kind of go through the same. Let's do it. Let's apply it to the current job. It's a little funny because I might have all right. So I don't have the images copy over, but same with the, same with estimates, you'll have that ability. If you're just doing work on the job and invoicing on site without that estimation process part of it, you can copy those photos and build that as that invoice as well. Optional items don't apply on the invoice, it's just the estimate. So you'll get that pre-work authorization and then applies on that final invoice. But I'm just going to cover that we've also made some streamlined enhancements for invoicing as well. And then invoicing will have that print option too. It'll take you to a printable version of the page. You'll be able to print it from your mobile browser print function, and it'll look like it'll have a nice formatted print. That's pretty much it in a nutshell, which is pretty impressive for 4 weeks of, since the last office hours. What I do want to hit 2 features that are coming probably next week, just because there's the seasonality of it. One is, and we'll take you to the sales board here, or sorry, the week calendar here. One is being able to bulk copy your jobs and create new ones. And so you can, and if you didn't know this, you could multi-select jobs and perform certain operations here at the bottom right. You can move them, but we're going to create another option, bulk option, to copy them, and that'll create new copies of them. So an easy way, if you had let's say 40 jobs, and this is coming from a lot of our snow customers performing snow services right now, you can select all of your jobs. We'll provide a new option of copy that looks just like move, and you can move, you can create a copy for your future job, or for your future day. So that gives you the ability to keep that route and not have to rebuild it one by one. It's going to really help streamline some of your seasonal one-time services. We've also seen this request for other things. So for spring cleanups, fall cleanups, if you want to keep that past route and copy it over, we're going to have that option. And then the other thing that's kind of a little bit more seasonal is another proposal enhancements come in where we'll let you not just have proposal by percent, proposal deposit by percent. We're going to allow deposit by amount. And what we've seen is everyone has a percentage with that deposit, but they also want the ability to have a nice round number and something that can easily be broken up into different clean round installment amounts as well. So that's coming really soon. I just wanted to note that. Keep an eye out if you're interested in product updates. We'll have another little announcement, hopefully within next week. So keep an eye out that. With that, that's everything I have, and we can kind of kick it back to Holly and kind of go over questions. Any questions that have come in?
Wonderful. Thank you for that. A lot of exciting new enhancements that we've added in and a lot more coming. So we do have a few questions that already made its way in. Reminder, now's your time. If you have questions, please continue to add those in. But firstly, the first question that we got was, I do not have the sales option. Is that something that can be added to Canada?
That's great. Sales option. So our proposals and estimates are part of our Plus package. And I'm going to kick over to a demo site to this. So just keep cautious. These are not as stable as our live environment, but I'll kind of show you, I'll walk you through that real fast. You should be able to manage this from your settings. So you have the ability to upgrade and downgrade on your own. And I'll kind of So if you go to settings, manage subscription, you can update your package that you're on if you're interested in it, and it'll take you out to a way to get to the Plus package. So that's part of our Plus program. Deposits, unfortunately, because we don't have payment processing, and we can, and I see your comment too, Leslie. I can help you too. We can reach out and see what's going on if you're not able to get upgraded there. So it should be part of our Plus. One limitation for Canada is that deposits won't be available because it's part of our payment processing. We just don't offer Canadian dollar support just yet. So that's one thing there, but we can work through what you're seeing. So yeah, hopefully that gets you going.
Perfect. And I've noted down that we'll reach out to Leslie after the fact. The next question is there a way to add a note into client visit notes that will automatically populate the next time the site is visited?
The only thing I know, so let's just float an option at you. We don't have a way other than like copying the job individually. Those instructions will copy over. Other than that, you can put notes on the customer record for your crew. And I'm sorry, I'm demoing, but not demoing. Let me get you back. Let me share my screen back. I'm sorry about that. All right, sorry about that. I forgot I wasn't demo sharing there. Are you able to see my screen again, Holly?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So the best recommendation I have is you can go to the customer record and add crew notes, and those will appear on for anytime that customer is scheduled for a job. So those will always appear for your crew. Only other option I can kind of think of is when you copy the job, those instructions to your crew will copy over as well. And then I'll try to, while you field another question, I'll kind of show what I had demoed about upgrading.
Yeah. We did receive another question that was in the chat, but I see that it also made its way in here. So will you be making where a customer can make a partial, or I'm sorry, will you be making it possible for a customer to make partial payments? Some customers pay with multiple cards or cash and card, for example.
Great question. That is something I wanted to say is coming up. It is definitely coming up. We haven't started development on it, but it's development ready. So that should be, it's going to take us a little while to get that going, but we are making progress on that. So that handling underpayments is a thing we've heard, and we're gonna focus on it. So that's coming up. So won't be in the next 2 weeks. Be a little further out just because of the development involved in that, but we're working on it. So that's good news there.
Perfect. And then another question, when printing an enhancement with pictures, the pictures do not print. Am I doing something wrong?
No, you're not. That's a great feedback. So we can consider that. We haven't heard it yet. When you email that copy, when the receipt gets emailed, they'll have a link to the invoice, and they'll be able to see be able to click the image and see the full image. Same with the emailed version of the invoice. They'll be able to do that. But our printable version right now doesn't show the actual screenshots. Something we can consider, and we might have to even consider it optional just because of the space it could take up. So great feedback. So I'll note it as well. So.
And then another question we just received, how can I isolate accumulated cost associated with charge card processing for tax purposes?
Accumulated costs. So basically, it sounds like this is reconciliation. This would be in our payments portal. You can run disbursements reports, and I'll kind of show you. We've given a little bit more guidance in our help docs on that. It's kind of a grueling process to kind of work through in this demo. Demo, but if you go to our help docs and go to fee reconciliation, that will give you some steps on how to get all of the sum of all your fees within your withdrawal or your disbursement. And that hopefully steps will help you out in kind of that reconciliation process. So let us know if it doesn't, and we can kind of give a little bit more feedback, but it is something that's I can't really demo here.
Another question, is there a way to create a list of all customers?
Great question. I feel like this is an underseen topic. So here, I know it's kind of hit on this too, because it's actually a really good topic for the season. You can tag customers, and I recommend it very strongly with either services or a different category of customers, whether they're prospects, whether they're on a maintenance plan. You can tag them with certain tags, and you can also filter based on tag to just my gold package customers. To build a list, and this is probably what you're doing for renewals, you can use export, and that export will be a filtered list. So any filters I'm searching for here will apply. And then you'll be able to use that for any marketing or renewals. What we got? What else? Anything else?
That was the last one that was submitted so far, but we do have a few more minutes left, so please continue to add them in if you have any. Another one, how do you remove the tags?
It is manual. So you go and go over here to the customer record edits. And be able to, if they're selected, you'll be able to remove them here. If you're talking about a global delete of tags, let's see, that I don't know. You might have stumped me there. So good question if it is. I don't think we offer a way to delete old tags, but you can delete them off the customer. So I'm not sure if that's what you're getting at there. Be helpful to Tanner, would you know if that's something that more looking at deleting older tags or removing a tab from a customer? And that's okay. Okay, yeah. So after the maintenance plan is up, it's basically a renewal, how to manage renewals, and I feel like that's a topic that we want to get to and we haven't gotten to yet. So basically how to keep track of those. So that's a good thing that for us to focus on. So I'll note that as well.
Another question, when you are sending a recurring invoice via email, can you add a date or something more specific around that particular invoice, which will update every time you send the email? For example, here is your July invoice written, here is your X month invoice.
It's written here. I'm trying to grasp the use case around it. I haven't heard this one as far as like written here, as far as the invoice changing its details as you resend it. So theoretically, so if you're doing, and we're trying to work through a recurring job here. So I'm going to complete this recurring job, which my crew should be doing, but I'm going to do it. Create this invoice, and you should have the service date. And I'm guessing you're wanting to know if we could, in the intro text, have something that's more specific to the services, or the month when the invoice is sent. So the invoice date possibly. So we got kind of two concepts: invoice date and the other concept of the date the service was performed. Hopefully to convey that a little bit. Those will change based on the invoice, and I think this might be something a little bit more specific as far as kind of maybe a little different frequency. So good question. If you want to provide more details too, we always, sorry, not product updates here. You can request a feature as well, and provide a little bit more details of what you're looking at, and that'll help us too. So hopefully a couple options for you, but maybe not exactly there. All right, anything else?
We are all cut up for now, but we do have about 5 minutes left. So we'll leave another minute or so to see if there's any questions that come in. Otherwise, we are happy to give you a few minutes back in your day. It's been a
All right.
very lively group today. A lot of great questions asked.
Yeah, this is a great
Love
one.
to see it.
Thanks. I'm happy to be with y'all today, and look forward to seeing you next time.
Yeah, we did get another last minute question here, asking about whether or not we are working on a phone app.
Not yet. So we have some kind of far range plans on how we could pull that off. We are looking more for specifics on kind of some of the use cases of what you'd use the app for. Um, I can't say anything formally, but we're open to it. So we're still kind of we're still kind of in investigation stage right now. So it's a little early on. We're hoping to knock out some of these bigger features that you'd use a phone app for, because we have some mobile, a lot of mobile responsiveness to our crew view. And we've kind of considered if it's a login issue, like being able to more easily log into the app, and rather than dispatching. We've kind of talked through some of that too. So nothing formal, nothing in the works that I could say. We are heavily thinking about this topic, and we've kind of got some ways we could pull something off too. So yeah, definitely keep us in the loop if you're one of those folks that are looking for a phone app rather than a dispatched crew link, because we kind of want to get a grasp of some of the things that you want to do when you have that mobile app.
Yeah, I was just about to say you stole my my next question. I was going to ask if you would recommend anyone on the call today that is looking for a phone app or native mobile app to reach out and provide more details on what they're looking to achieve with that. Um, is the crew control support email the best email to reach out for that? Is there a specific place you would prefer people to reach out to for that information, just so we can share that in the recording email?
I'd still recommend doing that feature request. We're taking a really good look at everything that's coming in, and we'll reach out, especially when it gets a little bit more appropriate, like when we're starting to really nail in more details. But we're always reaching out to kind of get more information on some of these requests, just to help guide us on that. It's awesome. It's awesome to see. Yeah. Yeah. I'd say put in a feature request. That's what I want to recommend. Like how the phone app would help you, and then what you're looking to do with it, whether that's specific offline capabilities, whether I need more admin privileges in that app. Some of those functions help guide us too. So that'd be really awesome if you guys could provide that.
Yeah, absolutely. I've jotted down what comments have been shared about the app so far, but as Scott mentioned, please do submit a feature request. And in the recording email that we'll share out, I'll make sure to include how you can navigate there, just as a reminder in case anyone forgets or hasn't done so before. So we'll make sure to include that for you. All righty, I think we are just up at time here, so we can go ahead and close things out. Thank you all for joining. This was a amazing session. A lot of great questions, a lot of great features covered, and more to come, it sounds like. So we hope to see you next month, which will be Wednesday, March 20th. Registration information will be in that email that you get tomorrow. So thank you again, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.